Hey, everybody, welcome back to another daily drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm THI publisher Andrew Jones, and the topic today, Carolina football. I went through a series there for a while, a period there for a while, where I was doing position groups on offense. And then we hit a period where there was a lot of live news and some of the things we had to do. So we kind of took a little detour, and we're back on that now because the topic today is not just Carolina football, but more specifically, the defensive line. What kind of defensive line might the Tar Heels have this year? That's the question. And the answer is, I'm not sure. I think that they can be pretty good. Mac Brown told us in the spring multiple times, A, the defense is a lot better. B, the defensive front's a lot better. After spring practice, they wanted to get somebody else in the portal that could sort of fortify the depth. They did. Joshua Harris, who played last year at Ole Miss. Before that, played at NC State. So Carolina, theoretically, could have two guys on the field defensively, Joshua Harris and Jakeem Harris, and they're both former Wolfpack players. College sports is strange now. Anyway, I'm going to kind of go over this position group up front and kind of look at the numbers, offer a take on where they are. Definitely want to know your take. So after this video, after you click like on the video, after you subscribe to our channel, after you hit the notification bell, so you get updates every time we upload, and after you share the video and tell all your friends that we're out here, anybody you know that's a Carolina fan, tell them we're here. Not just here, but our site, TarHeelIllustrated.com. Tons of stuff, and it's not all premium. A lot of it is free. After you do all that, let us know what you think. What do you think the defensive line is going to be like this year? So we're talking Kevin Hester. It's in his sixth year. He had a redshirt year, then the COVID year. So this is his sixth year. Kevin, a former high school basketball player, didn't start playing football until spring practice of his junior year, and he had 3 scholarship offers almost right away, including Boston College and I believe Florida State. Kevin's a pretty nice player. He's certainly dependable. He has started a lot the last few years. 30 tackles last season, 110 in his career. So he's got the most tackles of any of Carolina's defensive linemen, career tackles. I think that there's a baseline that you know you're going to get from him. There's a reliability with Kevin Hester. I expect he'll start. I expect he'll play 40 snaps a game, and I expect that he'll have a solid year. Then you look at Travis Shaw, kind of the opposite of Hester. Shaw was highly decorated, considered the number 1 defensive tackle in the country by a lot of people coming out. Top 10 kid, 5-star, and it's kind of hadn't been quick for him. It's been a little slower to kind of get some traction here. Now, by all accounts, Travis had an excellent spring. By what I saw, Travis was different this spring. He was more vocal in a good way. He wasn't just vocal in sort of a kid kind of way. He was much more encouraging, much more positively enthusiastic out there. And he played lower consistently. I saw the team 3 times in the spring, twice practice, and once, of course, in the spring game. And he was a little bit quicker. He lost some weight, keeping the weight off. So I think that there should be some optimism that Travis is going to be a better player. The thing is, he really could only get better. 11 tackles last year, 29 in his career. He played fewer snaps last year than the year before, and he didn't play a lot, like 130. So Travis really only has this way to go, and the staff still thinks he could be a first-round pick. So maybe it's a meteoric jump from what we've seen the first 2 years to this coming year. I'm not going to ever project that until I see it, especially from Travis. So I'll say, yeah, he's going to improve, but how much, we don't know. But he should be better. So he should at least give them some reliable depth at the minimum. Javari Ritzy, experienced guy, played a lot of snaps, 25 tackles last year, 98 in his career. He's someone that when he came in, people around the program were salivating at what he might be. He's kind of overshadowed with some of the other guys that came in that left. He's one of the big-time recruits in that class that are still there, and he's persevered, and he's a a guy who gives them solid reps, but there's a lot more potential than solid in him. Not like Travis, but a little bit like Travis. Can he tap that that next level? Travis has to tap like 3 levels, and he very well may do it. Javari Ritzy is a level away from being an all ACC kind of performer. He really is. He's got to stay on the field. He's got to be consistent. And that's part of being that next level. And I think the new approach defensively is going to help him because he's pretty athletic in there, in those gaps. I think he has a chance to have a really good season. In fact, I think of all the players up front, he and Bo Atkinson have a chance to leap forward perhaps more than anybody else. I'm not going to go with Travis just yet. Got to wait and see it. I don't know a ton about Joshua Harris's game. He was not there in the spring. I have not seen him. But based on talking to some people around the program and looking at some of his film, he's a secondary gap guy in the sense that he can fill some gaps defensively. I'm not talking the A gap, the B gap. I'm just talking about give them reps. He needs to be able to spell somebody. If he could give them 15, 18 snaps a game, I think they'll be very, very happy with that, provided the guys in front of him are producing. If not, and they have to thrust him into more, he's an experienced guy. He's been in college for a while. He should be able to handle some of that. I think for him, the expectation should be solid reserve, kind of gives them a little bit more depth and bolsters that unit a little bit more than they would be if they didn't have him. At end, Dez Evans. I think Dez is going to have a really good year too, and it would be an upgrade. He was playing real well a couple years ago, then he got hurt, and last year he had some stretches. But I like the way Dez has grown and matured. I like the way Dez has handled himself and how he has become a great student of the game. And I think his preparation will be better than ever before. I think his discipline will be better than before. And I think the new approach is going to take advantage of his skills more than before. I think you will see him get at the quarterback. Now, he's also going to play some of the rush position, which was called Jack under Gene Chizik. And it's a little different. Sometimes that position will line up upright at the line of scrimmage as an end. That's the Kamen Rucker position. And Kamen's going to line up at end too with a hand down, but I'm not going with him in here because he's going to start at the rush spot a little bit more upright. Bo Atkinson's also getting some work. Oh, by the way, Dez Evans, 33 tackles last year, 86 for his career. Harris, by the way, 13 at Ole Miss last year, 40 for his career. Bo Atkinson has got big-time potential. 19 tackles in his only year last year. He's playing some of the rush position as well, getting some work there. But Jeff Collins told us that he envisions a scenario where Atkinson and Evans are on the field at the same time. That's some length, that's some athletic ability, that's some ferocity. And with how much Dez's game has grown, that's some football IQ that they can put out there to throw some defensive eye candy. Everybody always refers to eye candy as offense, but I think that there's some defensive eye candy in what Jeff Collins is going to do. A lot of disguising, a lot of stunting. And you got two dudes like that on the field at the same time. It's pretty interesting. We look forward to seeing something like that. Jacoby Cowan had a really good spring. He came in a couple of years ago from Ohio State. 3 tackles last year, 12 in his career. Hasn't played a ton. Had a little spurt of snaps 2 seasons ago. Was banged up last year. But by all accounts, he had a really, really good spring. And they think that he's a guy that can get on the field each week. 2 guys that got a lot of attention in the spring. They got a lot of reps. And quite frankly, coaching staff was surprised at how much both of them progressed. Rodney Laura and Joel Starlings. Laura's a guy that can, I think he projects to be someone that can eat up blockers. I think Starlings is someone that there's been some talk about both. Okay, I got to go back and try to rack my brain in some of these interviews that we did and some of the conversations I've had. But there's a lot of intrigue with both these guys because they progress so much faster than was expected. Neither was close to ready last fall. They took significant steps forward in the spring. Now, the only way they're probably going to get regular reps is if there's injuries up front. But you have to be a little intrigued by the improvement they're making now, how that translates a year from now, because they're going to lose Hester. They're going to lose Ritzy. They're going to lose Evans. They're going to lose Harris. They're going to lose Cowan, probably. So these guys continuing that track is very important for the 25 season. So overall, this group had 134 tackles last year, and they have 394 for their career. There's some high-end guys there, and they have a chance, each of them, to kind of bust through what has been sort of a ceiling for each of them. Shaw can be a whole lot better. I think Ritzy could be a healthy notch better along with consistency. Evans can be an NFL guy. If those three halfway do what I just said, this group has a chance to be pretty good. I think they can be okay, pretty good, maybe even darn good. A lot of that will have to do with Jeff Collins' approach as well, his creating chaos, minister of mayhem, freedom, attack mode that this defense is going to play. So let me know. What do you think? What can you expect from this defense? Do you think Shaw breaks out? If so, how much does he break out? Do you think Dez Evans finally takes that big step and is the player a lot of people thought he would be when he committed 5 years ago? Are you excited about Bo Atkinson? Do you see him as being a guy that just skyrockets this season? What about Javari Ritzy? Let me know what you guys think on our YouTube channel, or excuse me, on our Facebook page, on Twitter, and of course, if you're on our site, on the message boards. We have a free board and we have a premium board. The premium board's where all the goodies are, just $8.33 a month, and you can be a Tar Heel Insider too. I'm AJ, and I appreciate you checking us out.